Welcome to the flowerschool.com video library. I'm Leanne Kessler, Director of the Floral Design Institute, here to share with you our latest issue on Back to School with an apple for the teacher. Yes, back to school time is apple time. And here in the Pacific Northwest, it's also when the apples are in season. And finally, the local apples are on the shelf. And my, aren't they fabulous? This is a fun arrangement to include the kids. It can be great. Send them outside foraging, finding things in the garden, in the yard, even weeds, all kinds of different textural treasures. Then stop at the grocery store and pick your favorite apple. Could be the red delicious, or maybe a Granny Smith, or maybe a yellow delicious. There's so many different kinds. Pick the one you like the best. Then, starting with a bit of foam in a container, score the foam down, and then using an anchor pin, you're going to attach that to the apple. It's easy. Using a strip from the U-glue, just peel it off, exposing the glue, and attach it to the base of the apple. And then peel it back off. And it leaves a little extra. It's more than you truly need. But what you do is you put your pick on, then pull that up and over the anchor pin, tucking it down in to give it extra security because you're getting it on the top and the bottom. Now that's not going to come off. That's very, very stable, and it can set right down in your foam. To make sure that the foam will be completely concealed, a little bit of sphagnum moss right around the base before you even begin. Just kind of pull it apart and set it in. Doesn't take very much. It's kind of messy, but just a little, and that way it starts covering the mechanics. Then go back, and it can be anything. There were some beautiful viburnum berries. Clipping them down, then just giving it a cut. Setting it right down into the foam, getting it in nice and deep so it'll drink. Even textural seed pods and grasses. Now both of these are from the Learning Center instructors, Kathy, her garden. She brought them over and said, "Oh, Leanne, I bet you can use these." And sure enough, they're just fabulous. Cutting them down, I don't need them to be quite so long, but I can use bits of it. And then going through and just setting it down into the foam. You can see it doesn't have to be really unique. It just needs to be interesting. Great texture to enhance the apple. And the grasses, she called this bamboo grass. It's got little wavy ends. Oh, it's exquisite. And that can even tuck in and over. You can see how the kids could have so much fun gathering weeds and treasures from the yard and then bringing them in and adding them to the foam, making the perfect gift for their teacher on the first day of school or maybe the first Friday of school. You can even go back, adding some blackberries. Now these are the decorative thornless varieties, kind of a treasure. Chances are out in the yard you don't have the thornless ones, but aren't they fun? Absolutely gorgeous. And just tucking them in, radiating everything around in a circular fashion from the center binding point established with the apple. Once it's complete with all of the treasures you've gathered, you may want to add something just a little extra special. So I gathered one stem of Cymbidium orchids, the miniatures. And all I'm going to do is pull off some of the lower blooms. And then using a water tube, filling it with water and cutting the top so it's not too tight. Then give the orchid a cut, set it right down inside. so that this way it has a water source. It'll keep drinking. It will last for weeks. Many cymbidiums are so sturdy, it's amazing how well they'll last. Then just tuck them in to the bouquet randomly. Just finding a little hole, set it in, feeding it in so that the tube won't show. Maybe 2 there, 1 over here down low, and 1 tucked into the side. So 4 of them tucked in nicely, and they talk to each other with their throats looking inward at the apple and each other to keep the rhythm moving throughout the design. Back to school with the iconic apple. You and the kids, or maybe just you, wouldn't it make a great little centerpiece for an autumn harvest dinner? Lots of fun things you can do with apples. Now it's your turn. For more creative inspiration, check out our website at flowerschool.com. If you've got questions or comments, don't hesitate to contact us directly. You can reach us through the website or by telephone at 1-800-819-8089. If it's easier, feel free to use my personal email. It's Leanne, Leanne, at floraldesigninstitute.com. For now, happy autumn. Happy back to school. See you next time. Have fun and do something you love.